Trasaco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasaco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasaco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Hello, information.
Madam,
Me, I have still not got the money for that list of expensive building materials you sent to me. The price of the iron rods have been increased too much, had I?
Madam, relax. Look, that's not why I did call. I just visited IPCP, where the engineers told me everything about Trasaco Fast Floor.
Trahuako, please, those people are expensive. Are they not the people building those big houses in town? I beg going to cash in a guy.
Madam, in fact, I used to think the same until I visited their office today, and they gave me an estimate of how much it will cost. Yomo, the estimate is free. It's cheaper than the one I even sent you.
Wow.
Building contractors, foremen, masons. Visit IPCP, the Trasaco Fast Floor. Engineers will assist you build an affordable, faster, and stronger building.
Oh, madam, it is done.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Trasaco Fast Floor, stronger, faster, and affordable.
This is a Trasaco construction product.
It's Tuesday, 8 February 2022. Good afternoon and welcome to Pan African Television News. My name is Ivy Abnadide Nakite. We are live across 46 African countries and some part of Europe. We are live on Facebook at the moment at Pan African Television. And let's take a look at our headlines. UTAG strike, coalition of concerned university students scheduled demonstration postponed due to police directive. Also coming up, e-levy civil society groups join the National Democratic Congress for Yentua demonstration come Thursday, February 2022. Still coming up in this afternoon's bulletin, Operation Clean Your Frontage will take a look at the current situation at Circle 6 days after the exercise. We have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 1 hour. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying. If you just tuned in, this is Pan African Television News. Anchoring is me, Ivy Abnadide Nakite. Now let's move straight to our news in detail. Now, the coalition of concerned university students of Ghana has called on all university students to join the mass at the University of Ghana Stadium near Okonglo today as they march to the Jubilee and Parliament House to present their concerns to government. Now, this come back on the ongoing UTAG strike that has left all university students in various public universities hopeless as their future looks gloomy.
The Coalition of Concerned University Students is the amalgamation of all student movement and activism groups across all university campuses in Ghana. The coalition keenly seeks to address pertinent issues of ordinary Ghanaian university students, both home and abroad. As a national student leader, I believe in the caucus, and I believe that student activism over the years have greatly increased the democratic history and political beauty of Ghana democratization. Since 1992, it has been static, and some remarkable strides have been made in improving the nation's democratic quality through student activism. My fellow university students watching me here, with other conveners here with me, I speak on behalf of your interest. Maybe you wouldn't gather the momentum to stand before the huge media and expel your grievances to the government that has been so insensitive to the plight of our lecturers. Our lecturers have laid down their tools and apparatus and embarked on an indefinite strike. UTAG on Monday, 10th January 2022, officially embarked on this indefinite strike, and it's been several days and we've been in the 5th week, yet still, these lecturers have decided not to return to the classrooms. We believe that government shouldn't use the National Labour Commission as a bully referee to sabotage our lecturers. We've all realized that the ruling government has been so insensitive about this situation. And there is an Akan adage that says that when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. Me elephant ba ikomikoma wakande osne bi nsa wakwa oyefu no bre. We want to tell both UTAG and government that students are suffering. Medical students are suffering. Business administration students are suffering. Nursing students are suffering. International students are suffering. Agriculture students are suffering. IT students are suffering. And even the psychology students that are to place us in a stable mentality are even suffering. Good people of the media, it is unfair to us as university students to pay exorbitant fees and hostel fees at this early stage of the academic calendar, and just to see our lecturers embark on such an insensitive and indefinite industrial strike. Already we all believe that COVID-19 has been an albatross stiffened on our neck as intellectuals, and we wouldn't stand a chance to see our lecturers cause a much more harm to this situation due to the insensitive nature of this government. We want to motivate our fellow university students, both home and abroad, to speak across the country. We shall hold a peaceful demonstration going tomorrow, and I urge each and everyone here to believe in this vision that caucus, as the coalition of all these concerned university students, would converge at the University of Ghana campus in front of the stadium or Ponglo, and we shall depart at 9 a.m. As I speak, I can boldly tell you that we have the approval of the regional command of the Ghana Police Service. So my fellow university students watching me, don't be demotivated by the naysayers. Don't be demotivated by so-called political students that are puppets to their godfathers. Remember that in the school, your parents go for loans. They struggled hard to pay your fees. Be motivated. Join the coalition. Let us just express our grievances to our leaders of this country. Let us humbly tell them that this is our petition and suggestive solutions to solve this matter for a long term, instead of still dwelling on the short term of this UTAG brouhaha. I would want to end this short and brief message to the media that imagining being a young university student coming all the way from Bolgatanga and staying on University of Ghana campus for 5 weeks. I'm not an economic expert. I'm a medical personnel. I can tell you with all due facts that the psychological stability of these students are at stake. Equally, the economic stability of the students are at stake. So we rally you all that it is now or never. Enough is enough, and tomorrow we hit the streets of Accra. I promise you that students all across this country, And I know that we shall provide about 4,000 students on the streets of Accra tomorrow and join forces with the coalition to present our petition to the presidency and that of the Parliament House.
Now, we are trying as much as possible to get in touch with the convener of the Coalition of Concerned University Students of Ghana, George Kofi Abua, to give us the very latest. That away from that, some first-year students of the University of Ghana, Legon, have expressed their concerns over the ongoing strike action by UTAG, Association of Ghana, UTAG. Now, according to them, they feel disappointed about the situation and are pleading with government to put measures in place to enable them begin their academic work.
The UTAG strike, which began on the 10th of January, is still ongoing. It's been 21 days of no academic activity on the various university campuses, and this means that public universities across the country are likely to be closed down if the strike action continues. But what is the impact on the students? We are yet to find out, and we are here at the University of Ghana, and we'll be speaking to some students to find out from them how this is really affecting them.
Yes, the situation has been bad. I'm actually a fresher, and we came to school like 3 weeks ago. But immediately we came, we just heard that the lecturers decided to go on strike, and it's been bad. It's been disturbing. We just hope that the government does something about it, because we've just been on campus. There's nothing to do, no activities, and we are just in our rooms. So we are just pleading to the government to just come to our aid and do something about it.
The strike has really caused a lot of problems because, for instance, like I'm not from Accra, I come from the Savannah region, and I know I have a lot of other people who are not also from this region. Considering that some people have to go back home, and some people too are still waiting because the government and UTAG are still saying they might shut the school down or they might come back to school. So others have gone home already, and others are also still waiting for whether the school will go on or have to go home. It's really a big thing. Like we've waited for so long, and now that we are here, like we are excited to begin a whole new life experience. And then the strike has really come to be like it's now a hindrance. We don't know what's going on, and we are just hoping for the best. And well, yeah, like everybody, we don't know what's happening now. So like, definitely you will also have to go home if like nothing good is coming up. Yeah, everybody's worried. Yeah, we feed on ourselves, so we feed by ourselves, and yeah, that was it.
I think it's really affecting us as students, and also we are running out of time actually, and classes has to begin and all, but it looks like the teachers are delayed, and it's due to the refusal of the government to pay them and stuff. So I think the government should put measures in place to meet the needs of the teachers, so that in no time they can come back and lectures resume or continue.
So as you can see, the ongoing strike action is currently affecting students greatly, and they are calling on the government to do something about the situation as soon as possible. Reporting for Pan African News, Ikea Abebu.
Meanwhile, some parents and concerned citizens have expressed worry over the ongoing UTAG strike, which began on January 10, 2022. According to them, government must reach a consensus with UTAG to salvage the situation in order for the awards to resume academic work, since they have paid huge sums of money in a bid to secure their future.
Trasacco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasacco Springs. a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasaco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Hello? Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message you. Your office is going to move. Hello? I didn't know. What's happened?
It's a chunk, but who's be a quiet say what? I dare say,
besides, friend of friend, I'm so young. My wife not testing messages here. And our office also. I'm trying to tell you, man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy, Manu, and may young who could look rare. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it then? Family Dwelling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Naso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111 and NASA 0244 144 822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool on me fee. Me want to will be here. Family dwelling now. Family dwelling.
What fast is your last set?
Me out
You're welcome from that quick break there. Now let's go back to our previous story where some parents and concerned citizens have expressed worry over the ongoing University Teachers Association of Ghana strike, which began January 10, 2022. According to them, government must reach a consensus with UTAG to salvage the situation in order for the awards to resume academic work, since they have paid huge sums of money in a bid to secure their future.
The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has taken an entrenched position not to call off its industrial action, which commenced on January 10, 2022, until their conditions of service are agreed upon. It is an undeniable fact that university lecturers have been making such demands since time immemorial. Factors including a review of their poor conditions of service, coupled with a demand for an increase in their basic and market premiums, which was reduced to $997.84, can be attributed to the long-standing strike, which is negatively affecting public university students across the country. Now, with about 1,001 problems that the country is faced with, the UTAG strike remains top of the list. It's been a little over 28 days since the University Teachers Association of Ghana embarked on a strike to demand better conditions of service and an increase in their market premiums. A lot of Ghanaians are worried, especially parents who have to foot the bills of their children to remain in school. We are here to speak to some parents and find out how this is affecting them.
Yes, sir, but I am my teachers for Obi abeye ye wa asase we so a efi teacher abana nkasa teacher na lecturer na de asa na wadu baby awedu yembe yi so mo akogu school o mo nya hwe na anyi so mo ninam ho sa mo ye stranded wo fra we ya we se me hu de me yo nti enda kra me se me ba no ombra intonam kwanso e ba kra se se anu no se watran ho sa wa brehwe nkoso ono ankasa na ye ni classes wa ye sa wa bre ni roommate ni nya obi akofie ntonu so oba wa bre nti se ampese ombra fie na yesra aban on bombody no your teachers from asedie ma wo no mun go back to class.
The only thing I have to say is that government should sit up with UTAG and then sort out their various differences so that the lecturers could go back to the classroom and teach the students for us, because they are official leaders and they must be taught. If they must be taught, they must be taught well. So thank you.
Just for the Yamidis from Muko school, na aufone bre pa bitu mo pasiba ko tifie me ma modokuya and on the hair crown obet na fie be ko be 2 months ni teacher for no Muko school mai na ban so nya so tie no on tua teacher for no ka ko chiran crown na de mai.
parent of a level 200 student of the University of Professional Studies Accra and a level 100 student of the University of Ghana, Legon, Madame Theodora Tay, also shared her frustration with the news team, saying that both of her children have had to return home as a result of the strike, which may stall their academic progression.
2. Why is UPS? Why is university? Ghana University. So last month, my small boy, level 100, he called me, say they are strike, so he want to come home. I said, why? They say teachers go strike. I said, oh, why? Because before you want to go to school, I suffer it. I'm pretty trade. I'm selling small things. I suffer it before I pay the school fees and buying things before you go to the school. So now they say teachers they are strike. I don't understand because of the teachers and strike. Into me says mepa or Ghana or mine say the international teachers no akọ strike no ye pa mo cho say on be boa teachers no na ne omo hwehwe no omo timi nyom na ye man timi bra school back na me ba no wa be fie me crown say me ba na be fie me crown pa say obisa na say am ko strike o obisa say the international wo fie so teachers ko strike.
Others also called on government to, as a matter of urgency, fix the situation as it has the tendency to disrupt the academic life of the students.
The American say be best a teacher for no. Say bet my boy na parents no, bet my children my dear because and then no say be uru ba ko school e ska. Todo ba ko school and so ba ko tre school one say be an children my dear. Na say a cowboy nyana aye brego and e bet na edwomu. First, I did a new basics. Maybe I'm at the Murder in Baku School, now brand university, as a 7% bread. Coach me, a teacher and Demacorano, Dachi, Nabra me bray, now say me bread sharing. And from Abanfaso, mammy.
Now, you've seen for yourself and you've heard the frustrations and agitations on the faces and in the voices of these parents who've had to go through thick and thin to ensure that their wards or their children get good tertiary education. Their only call and plea is for the government to fix the situation in order for their children to return back to school, because these are children who hold the key to Ghana's future. This is a Makiza Michelin report for Pan African News.
Let's go for a quick break. We'll return with the rest of our stories.
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCAP, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property Management, Executive Certificate in Data and Records Keeping, Executive Certificate in Monitoring and Evaluation, Executive Certificate in Logistics and Transport Management, Executive Certificate in CCTV Monitoring and Installation. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority. For registration and enquiries, please call 0244 405047, 0242 135523. We have our branches in Accra, Tamale, Kumasi, and Wa. Saturdays and weekdays sessions are available. Admission is still in progress. Enroll now. Join the African professionals. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority.
You're still watching Pan-African Television News. Now, still on our local front, several civil society groups have thrown their support behind the massive Yentuya demonstration of the National Democratic Congress scheduled for Thursday, February 10, 2022.
We are not paying today. Yentuya ene, Yentuya echina. We don't want any reduction. It is a no, no, no. Let's welcome Comrade Bernard Mona to speak to us.
Other comrades from other
political parties that pledged their support for the Yentuya demonstrations that will take place on Thursday. We are happy to be part of this mobilization that will put pressure on our government to withdraw completely the issue of pickpocketing of the Ghanaian purse. We don't consider electronic transactions levy a tax. To the view of the Justice for Ghana, we believe that taxes are levied on profits. They are levied on gains on capital. They are levied on interest and other incomes. But taxes are never levied on the working capital of businesses. And it is the duty of our government to ensure that in whatever they do, the well-being of the Ghanaian is taken paramount. But in this instant, in spite of the many taxes that our government is taking from us, they have decided that the little that is in our pocket, they want to take away. It is the reason for which when the NDC called for the Yentuya demonstration, we told them that this cannot be an NDC affair. It should be an affair for all Ghanaians. And we have come to learn solidarity. So we want to assure you that we'll mobilize in our numbers, we'll partner with all those that this will impact, and I'm sure that every Ghanaian will be impacted negatively on, so that we can tell our government that enough is enough. Thank you so much.
Call on the coalition of the concerned university students, George Kofi Abua, to speak on behalf of the coalition. You can come with your team to support you. You can join them as...
I know you are surprised seeing the leaders of the coalition of concerned university students here, but I would want to humbly start with a saying by a popular leader by name Martin Nyomola, who said, "First they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Secondly, they came for the capitalist, and I did not speak out because I wasn't a capitalist. Later, they came for the pastors, and I did not speak out because I wasn't a pastor. But now they came for me, and nobody was able to speak for me." Before I start with this brief speech, I want the good people of all university students across the nation to note that it is now or never. And why do I say this? We need to speak up today for a better tomorrow. In this vein, I would want you to understand that there is a lot of impact and bad effect of e-levy on students. So we pledge our support that coming Thursday after tomorrow's demonstration, the coalition of concerned university students throw their support solidly behind all these combined corporate civil societies, that we shall be there in our numbers as intellectuals and support a good cause for a great nation. We are the future leaders, and we speak today that
Selom Dramani Dramado, Unemployed Graduate Network, to also speak to us.
A note of caution to the Akufo-Addo administration that given the level of anger that is welling up in the youth of this country, they should, attach some importance to the mandate we have given them. I am not going to say that much. Thursday is where we'll have the platform to, exude whatever is welling up in us. On that note, I would like to thank you all for giving us this coverage. I would, ask you to, come in your numbers to join us, even you, the media. This time around, you are suffering. Quietly, you call me, challenge Dramani, the moment in there we no go agree. You to join us. Just put your microphone, bring your microphone, and also let's turn it on you like Pata. Then you say, "Oh, Charlie, that you know the view." We no go agree. Challenge, thank you very much.
Thursday, Okada ride the PR. Thursday,
ye nye delivery mo bia wo be wode aduane no for car ne koto wo be wode aduane no for car ne koto Thursday motor rider bia ni wonu mo a ye be ye adwuma kwesi se ye ne na akufo ado be ka amana ti ase se sika ni ye nibi ye ntua enye si ye ntua ye nibi adwuma nkoso na dia na be ye dia tua taxes enti esre na akufo ado se tax no ye ntua ne ye ntua ochina medam ase.
Some traders around the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange have disclosed that sanitation in the locality has improved after the Operation Clean Your Frontage exercise was conducted. Now, according to them, the exercise has affected business activities in the area.
Operation Clean Your Frontage exercise, which commenced on February 1, 2022, was conducted to ensure that individuals and businesses tidy their immediate surroundings during the exercise. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Kote, visited the Kwame Nkrumah Circle with a task force to get traders who sell at unauthorized locations, such as the pavements, to relocate. A visit to the area by Pan-African News Team 6 days after the exercise has revealed that the directive is being strictly adhered to. Meanwhile, some traders have stated that even though the exercise has improved sanitation and vehicular movement, trading activity in the area has been hugely affected.
First, na nimpa no wakwa no wo hia de kwa den na asa na wakofa fofa wakosha wo ba bai sesi a wo fa nimpa no nyina yapam wo mu wadon mu bai wo kwa ya ntade te se first no bai nimpa no fi kwa na kwan ni mu aye free wo na ma hu mpe obia wo nam straight wo ko bai sesi nimpa no kwa ye ne ya ntohwe wo be chia bansa ya tade bai ye yi nimpa no fi kwan ni mu na ye neat fine nti nimpa na mo apam na umom aye abon fine by say yentohwe ene ne ye problem
you know mo ye de ama Ghana ha ye clean by fa ba bi no so na sa ha ye ne eton ade no tama no mo kwan no no mo to ade mai by say na mo do mo ko gina ekogu inside no isi aso ade akora na obebra ansa ne ato ba ama ha so ate ama ha ate pa ama ate by esa ha ye mu esa ha ye oh, I am na AM for try to take it in see. I am no plapla. Am I? Can't move my any so any nipa so yes nya baby efa first no kwa na mo a no obi de ne ho apem na no makura ye hwegu e si ano mo ye no ama ye nya baby fa ma ye ho toye nto ma ya ade that's
me say ade aba na ye na ke ye ma yina nenso ase yimu wom o enemy kodo right side ho no enipa ni bo ho moton de enso ye ne anse de ye tu nipa ni bi ho o ja se awona me menti ase no eni ti na ebi mu etifie ebi mu so ton de o ja se abeso mo se mo ye kwina mo ye no asaka ye month na ye mu se ka month bi aso a ye jana kwina no eni metima boy na se o se utu obi na still enwura da so gu e okromo dia ase you for so be also the second ban say month no the body buy say month be first week no I will say the whole Ghana the just clean no na be boy since say go to obi say why have fiends so now still no na if na so here oh na fiends no ya be school afọ ni bo why no na mo hwe mo ma no mo bibia I say ga ban hwe akra say okay bia wote no your whole needs mean to what I say enu mbe bua na enu mo mesin se de obebe tu obi na ode areho no ode tifie esa na odi yawo bo no se bi wo se am abam che kra na menu se mto oba no o cha se de o se aba no hwe se ye na eto no makwa ho no bisa no e bia wo to na bia so we de hu se ho ye neat enu mbe bua.
They are therefore calling on authorities to create enough spaces for them to enable them ply their trade.
For that, on our local front, coming up next is business.
Trasaco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasaco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasaco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Let's do business. The Western Regional Minister Kwabena Ochre Da Kumensa has said no poor person will be affected by the Electronic Transactions Levy Bill. He explained that this is as a result of the 100 Ghana cedis exemption. Now, according to him, a person said to be poor in the country is someone who raises only 70 Ghana cedis within a year.
The other issue what up in the day, and the 11 Ghana for one better one. Ghana for one better one, Ghana for better one. Mammy minimum day, Demi 11, a year for one chibi. A yenny biara niwa obichibi. And this is the analysis I make. Ghana, so what could be a year, puso, and you'll be in the whole year, Sikabed Nisima or 70 Ghana cities. 11 say between, say 300 Ghana cities are a transfer now. The Mexicano. In 11 Bordeaux. In the find a teacher edge 2,400. And Obia army edge 1,800. And our policeman edge 1,600. Then me pay now ban Utriamono say every day be in 100 Ghana cities near transfer. Then me levy in Chibi. Because 100 Ghana for 30 days or 3,000. Into them levy we have for Chibi day. Obilin to make a chem de onya de papa. The yenya to whom much is given, much is expected.
Also, Chief Policy Analyst at the Ghana Institute of Public Policy Options, Dr. Charles Brobe, believes government will be on course in moderating the rocketing price of fuel should it leverage on the country's windfall profit from oil revenue. Now, according to him, the global factors affecting Brent crude oil prices will always be unfavorable. Hence, applying the windfall profit is Ghana's best option to cushion fuel consumers.
Prices of fuel have gone up at the pumps across the country because the price stabilization and energy recovery levy, which is a key component of the fuel price build-up, has been restored by the National Petroleum Authority after it was suspended for about 3 months. The levy was suspended last year as a means of reducing the burden on consumers. In an interview, the former Chief Executive Officer for the Volta River Authority, Charles Brobe, demanded action from the government to lessen the impact of the high cost of fuel on Ghanaians. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumer Ghana, COPEC, has asked the government to adopt measures aimed at cushioning Ghanaians against the hike in petroleum prices. COPEC is also predicting that the price per litre of the product will hit 8 Ghana cedis by March 2022. Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amwad, lamented that government is doing too little to bring down the prices of fuel and must immediately devise means to address the incessant hikes. Already, COPEC has called for the withdrawal of the levy and has now urged the government to adapt the dual pricing model to stabilize fuel prices and accompanying economic difficulties.
International news is next. On an international front, Israel attempts to improve its public image to counter efforts by human rights organizations that reveal the nature of Israeli apartheid. Now, on January 27, 2022, the Hebrew language news site Walla published part of the text from telegram sent by Amer Wisbord, which is part of Israeli Foreign Ministry, to Israeli embassies around the world.
The telegram warned the Israeli diplomat that in the upcoming 49th regular section of the United Nations Human Rights Council, which is expected to begin on February 28, a report will be tabled regarding Israel's 2021 bombing of Gaza. This report will apparently use the word apartheid to refer to Israel's occupation of the Palestinians, according to the telegram. Wisbord relayed Tel Aviv's instructions regarding the report prepared by UNHRC appointed committee to the Israeli diplomat through this telegram. The main goal for Israel is to delegitimize the committee, its members and product, and to prevent or delay further decisions. After a 4-year investigation, on February 1st, 2022, Amnesty International released a 280-page report with a sharp headline, Israel's Apartheid Against Palestinians. Amnesty concluded that Israel has perpetrated the international wrong of apartheid as a human rights violation and a violation of public international law wherever it imposes this system. It has assessed that almost all of Israel's civilian administration and military authorities, as well as governmental and quasi-governmental institutions, are involved in the enforcement of the system of apartheid against Palestinians across Israel and the occupied Palestinian territory, and against Palestinian refugees and their descendants outside the territory. Amnesty further said that this act amounts to the crime against humanity of apartheid under both the Apartheid Convention and the Rome Statute. Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid retaliated by accusing Amnesty of quoting lies shared by terrorist organizations. As if on cue, Israel's government accused Amnesty of anti-Semitism. The Amnesty report to provide key material for the UNHRC investigation. One of the immediate issues that will be the focus of attention for the UNHRC session is Israel's Operation Guardian of the Walls against the Palestinians in Gaza in May 2021. According to a July 2021 report by Human Rights Watch, which looked at 3 Israeli strikes that were part of the operation that killed 62 Palestinians, there were no evident military targets in the vicinity. In its report, HRW used the term war crimes to describe attacks by Israeli forces and Palestinian armed groups. When the firing stopped after 11 days, the UNHRC passed a resolution in late May 2021 to establish an ongoing independent international commission of inquiry to investigate various crimes in the OPT, including East Jerusalem and in Israel. Nafi Pillay, the former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and a former South African judge, was appointed to chair the 3-person commission, which also included Mulun Kotari, an Indian architect, and Chris Sidoti, an Australian human rights lawyer. The commission is expected to present its first report to the UNHRC in June. The commission chaired by Pillay is the 9th commission established by the UNHRC to investigate Israeli actions against the Palestinians. It has a very broad mandate that includes to study violations of international humanitarian law according to the 4 Geneva Conventions in 1949, which both Israel and Palestine are party to, and to continue to investigate these crimes into the future. It is widely expected that Pillay's report will use the word apartheid to define Israeli policy in the OPT. This will not be the first time that a United Nations report has used this term to define Israeli actions against the Palestinians. In 2017, the UN Economic and Social Commission for Western Asia released a report prepared by Richard Falk, a former United Nations Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in the Palestinian territories occupied since 1967, and Virginia Tilley, a researcher and professor of political science at Southern Illinois University. The report defined Israeli policy against Palestinians as apartheid, as understood under international law. In his 2014 report, Falk had already used the term apartheid. The release of that 2017 report led to the resignation of ESCWA head Rima Khalaf, a distinguished Jordanian diplomat, after she faced pressure from the United Nations Secretary General to withdraw the report. In 2006, the Israeli government set up a Ministry of Strategic Affairs to essentially run two campaigns, one against Iran and the other against the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement. The Hasbara, explaining almost physically propaganda, ministry operated an information war that sought to delegitimize DBS activists and to paint anyone who supported the movement as an anti-Semite. Largely due to criticisms of its heavy-handedness, the Ministry of Strategic Affairs was shut down in July 2021 and some of its functions were shifted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Ami Weshbro's telegram from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is essentially Hasbara 2.0. On January 23, 2022, the Israeli government set up a new project, Concert Inside the Foreign Ministry. This well-funded project will carry forward the mission of Solomon Sling, a public benefit corporation but controlled by government representatives, to banish Israel's image around the world, particularly in the West. Concert will be the means through which the Israeli government plans to transfer millions of dollars to non-government organizations and media houses to ensure that the reporting about Israel is positive. The legitimization of any characters of Israel is part of the agenda this project aims to achieve. The telegram sent by Weshbrod is a part and parcel of Hasbara 2.0. Weshbrod is an experienced hand, having served Israel at the United Nations in New York and as an ambassador in Jordan, besides working in various ministries in Tel Aviv. In 2011, he told Haaretz that the diplomats from most countries understand Israel's position relating to the Palestinian Authority behind closed doors, but they are not willing to state publicly what they readily say in their private meeting with Israeli representatives, which is often infuriating. What such duplicity reveals is that these foreign representatives who agree with Israel behind closed doors recognize that public opinion in their countries is against Israeli policy, but these representatives know that they must not annoy the Israelis or the US diplomat who would otherwise make life difficult for their countries. A senior Indian diplomat told me plainly that India normalized relations with Israel in 1992 because the United States told New Delhi that the road to Washington had to go through Tel Aviv. Israel recognizes that few of the countries in the UNHRC will vote against the report that is expected to brand it as an apartheid state. It will try to do two things to prevent the report from coming out. They legitimize the commissioners, notably Pillay, and asked the United States to, in March 2021, Fatal Bensouda, the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, confirmed that his office had opened an investigation relating to Rome Statute crimes by Israel against the Palestinians. There are effectively 4 Rome Statute crimes: crime of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression. Each of these crimes is horrendous. What Israel fears is that a negative report in the UNHRC might provide evidence for the ICC investigation. On January 3, 2022, Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid told Israeli journalists that his government fears that this year a set of international institutions will try to portray Israel as an apartheid state. These institutions include the UNHRC, the ICC, the International Court of Justice, and the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. In the press conference, Lapid called the characterization of Israel as an apartheid state a despicable lie. 2 years ago, in June 2022, however, one of Israel's most respected human rights organizations, Yazdin, published a report with a starting conclusion. It is a difficult statement to make, but the conclusion of this opinion is that the crime against humanity of apartheid is being committed in the West Bank. The perpetrators are Israelis and the victims are Palestinians. Such statements are anathema to Lapid and Weshbrod, but according to Israeli human rights groups and Palestinian human rights groups, as well as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, are a reflection of the fact witnessed on the ground, and no amount of Hasbara 2.0 can erase these facts. Use its membership on the UNHRC to delay the release of the report.
Credit goes to our international partners, the People's Dispatch. Coming up next is sports. sports, Elmina Sharks FC defied the odds when they beat Asante Kotoko at the Indian Sports Complex in the Ghana Premier League yesterday. Now they came from a goal down to end the morale-boosting victory and also ended their 9-match winless streak.
Sharks gaffer Kobina Emisa handed debuts to new additions Prince Adediakpodo and Yusuf Alhassan Chipsa as they replaced Kingsley Ajay and Enoch Agbelenyo respectively. Dr. Prosper Nateogum maintained an unchanged starting lineup for the action-packed fixture. Kotoko opened the scoring of the match in the 39th minute when Dixon Afuakwa tapped in a pass from Cameroonian import Georges Mfugu after an excellent effort. The lead lasted for just 3 minutes as Ebenezer Edu Kwabwedi headed home a cross in the 42nd minute to level for the Botrikumba. Justice Blay, who joined the club from Mediama, was introduced in the second half as a replacement for Mudasiru Salifu. Sharks got themselves in the lead in 8 minutes into the second half after Alhaji Mustafa converted a penalty following a retake. His first kick was saved by goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim, but he had come over the line to make the save. The Porcupine Warriors came very close to restoring parity, but Ismail Abdul Ganiyu's powerful shot from the edge of the box was brilliantly saved by Sharks goalie Joseph Sam in the 73rd minute. Kotoko had the opportunity to draw level in the additional minutes after getting a penalty. Cameroonian forward Frank Thierry Mbela Etuga stepped up for the spot kick, but his attempt was saved. Kotoko finished the game with 10 men as left-back Ibrahim Imoro was sent off for dissent. The defeat is Kotoko's first since December 5, 2021, when they lost to King Faisal.
Well, we take you to the world of entertainment after the short breather. The Ohafia war dance, also known as Ikirikiri Ogu in the Igbo land, is a popular act performed in several parts of eastern Nigeria by masculine men in commemoration of their strength in fighting and winning wars. Now, our entertainment desk details the history of Ohafia war dance.
According to oral history, the ancestors of Ohafia were renowned to be mighty men of war who were always on the lookout for battles to take part in. The Ohafia warrior tradition, which remains one of the fundamental identities of the people, is hinged on the performance of Ikirikiri Ogu, the practice of beheading a fallen enemy. A human skull is a proof of a man's courage and strength. Only those who brought home a human head could join the Ogbu Isi society and wear an eagle's plume, which is a symbol of courage. Only men are permitted to perform the dance and beat the drums. The Ohafia tribe of Abia State were renowned fighters in ancient warfare. The dance reminiscent of celebrations after a successful battle as a victory dance to honor warriors of the tribe. The Ohafia war dance is performed to honor an individual's accomplishment. The lead dancer carries a basket full of human skulls called Oyaya, at the same time holding a short cutlass and puts a small palm shoot in his mouth. The Oyaya displays how many skulls the warriors were able to collect due to their skillfulness and bravery. The other dancers, clad like deadly warriors, mime the cutting of a human head as they dance to the music played with an akwatankwa musical instrument. This act depicts the bravery of the Ohafia men. The Ohafia war dance celebrates the cultural heritage of the Ohafia people. It also serves as a glimpse into centuries ago when winning an intertribal war meant a great deal to the winning tribe, he said. From a usual war event, this process has turned into a performance that showcases the might and prowess of Ohafia people.
The traditional Ohafia dance, with a mimicked beheading of their enemies, has already become a popular Igbo cultural dance rather than an everyday warrior's routine. Those who visit Igbo land stand a chance of seeing this dance performed at events. Well, that's how we draw curtains on this afternoon's Pan-African television news. Before we go, a recap of our headlines. UTAG strike, coalition of concerned university students scheduled demonstration postponed due to police directive. Now, civil society groups join the National Democratic Congress for Yentua demonstration come Thursday, February 10, 2022. We also took you to Circle to look at the current situation 6 days after the Operation Clean Your Frontage exercise. That's all for this afternoon's bulletin. Do join us this evening 6:30 p.m. on Newsbreak for more news updates. You can as well follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook at Pan-African Television, on Instagram at Pan-African Television, and on Twitter at Pan-African Television. My name, Ivy Abnadide Nakite. The Youth Empowerment Show is next. Don't go anywhere.